sit back in your seats, get something to eat, and watch this movie. Don't let the kiddies see it, because, well, we'll let you hear the beginning first. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Closet Chat, y'all. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rainy.
So, Rainy.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm playing with a fidget ring.
Oh, what coincidence. So am I.
Yeah. And we have like a bunch of other fidget toys around us too, which we apologize in advance if you start hearing them.
We'll try our best to be as quiet as possible with our fidgeting.
Yes.
It's a special episode.
Is
today. Yes, because for one, we are indeed fidgeting.
Yay.
We need to calm our nerves after what we witnessed earlier.
Yeah.
So, first of all, before we go into that, I just wanted to give a slight life update.
Oh, yeah.
So, first of all, apologies for just not being on top of scheduling. I've been sick. I've been out of commission for a week.
You've been going, well, more accurately, you've been going in and out of commission.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a cold front, got cold, and then, good news for me, I am beginning to fully transition into adulthood. I got my first big boy job.
Yeah.
And boy, when I tell you, I got so stressed.
About it.
Just the fact that I was getting hired, the drug test, everything. I got so stressed, I ended up making myself sick.
Yep. And it was fun on my end because I was stressing out about your health.
Yeah, so we were all stressing out.
Yep.
But, so, what makes today special is that we saw something special ourselves.
Yes.
Something that we hold truly deep in our heart.
Yes, so we recently learned about a movie coming out from a certain franchise.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we gotta watch this quickly. And so we decided to watch, drumroll please, Scream 6.
Scream 6! Yeah!
Yeah. Sorry, we're just looking at the audio. But yes, so we, if you, for anyone who is listening to this for the first time, we have actually reviewed the franchise before, at least 3 times. Like, we went through all the movies up to 5. Now we are up to 6, and we're just like, oh, let's see how 6 is. And gotta say, it didn't really disappoint, but didn't really...
It wasn't disappointing. However, it didn't go beyond expectations.
Yeah.
Or fully meet them, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, we are going to start off with giving a spoiler-free review of our opinions, guys. It's just opinions.
Yep.
So, honestly, I initially came out of the movie, with very mixed feelings.
Yes.
I wasn't sure on how to feel about, just my own conclusions over the film. However, I think I did enjoy it a lot. I thought it was very entertaining. I really enjoyed the characters. The dialogue was really fun. I feel like there was a lot of fun and like wholesome moments between like characters and their interactions. You pointed out that the cinematography was really good, and I would fully agree with that.
Yes, that is the level I want to get to one day.
And to those who are huge slasher fans as well as gore whores, I will say this is perhaps the goriest Scream movie out of the franchise.
Yeah, so if we ever said, like, for our previous movie, was like, oh yeah, this is the goriest that we've ever seen, we're taking that out the window. That's not true anymore. Like,
and definitely thanks to special, modern special effects. I think in the fifth movie, there were some pretty gory scenes. However, I don't think it was too many.
Yeah.
Or rather, it was not as, what do you say? anyways, I can't pronounce that word in my mind. There weren't too many. Like, they weren't that graphic.
Yeah, I think for us, it's just the fact that they really step it up a notch, which is just like, oh, wow, that is...
Yeah, stepped it up a notch by, like, getting close-ups, and, like, it is pretty graphic. Like, we had to look away a few times because... Yes, guys, even though we do enjoy watching slashers, or rather I do, I don't know if you do you?
I do enjoy them.
You do enjoy them, awesome, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Even though we do watch slashers, and we, do want to make it into a series of watching, classic slasher franchises, we're thinking about doing a Nightmare on Elm Street next, perhaps, after we finish Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we're gonna have... Yeah, it's a lot of movies for that one.
It's a lot of movies. Plus, it's like, well, we got the main series out of the way.
Yeah, we just gotta continue going down. I want to watch Jason Goes to Space.
I hear the other ones get more interesting, so at least it won't be too much of a slog. But,
Back on topic.
Yeah, so it is probably the most goriest. Production value was amazing. The acting was pretty damn phenomenal. The actors playing Tara and Sam... Just chef kiss, phenomenal, great. However, I do have some complaints.
Oh, yep.
Before I get into my complaints, though, would you like to talk about what you liked?
I mean, pretty much you covered it all. Like, I love the music. I'll be honest, sometimes the music, it can be out of place. Like, it was either like, oh, the music is probably like, not good for this type of music, isn't good for the situation, or the music shouldn't be here just to impact the scene.
Yes, we briefly talked about it earlier where I made the comment where I personally felt like the emotional music, for like touching emotional moments, I felt like there were too many of those.
Yeah.
And it would go from, like, intense music to an immediate switch to, like, emotional music. Yep. And it felt like I couldn't really catch my breath in between these moments. I mean, of course, I do feel like this movie is pretty fast-paced as it is. And I will say the pace is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I felt entertained in some level throughout the entire film. So... Moving on to complaints, not going into spoiler territory yet.
Yep.
What is your biggest complaint?
So I would say, like, the music was still my complaint, but I think I will say, trying to look at my notes. I will say, I know you said the gore was, like, looked really good, but it was, like, for me, it was just slightly too much.
Yeah, I think... Sorry, but I was going to say, I think it's a matter of taste. However, I fully agree. Like, it was too much for me, too.
I think it's just maybe because for my mind, it was like, oh, it's a Scream movie. It's not going to be that super gory. Because I've seen the other Scream movies. They're not that gory. I've seen this one coming, like, all those scenes. I think there were times, like, I think you've even felt me, because we were in the movie theater, you felt me grab over you.
Yeah, I did feel that. I saw you, there was a lot of moments where I saw you looking away, and the reason I could see was because I, too, was looking away.
Yes, because I think it was just the fact that I think mentally I wasn't prepared for the over the top. It was still beautiful. It was still well edited to the for the movie, but it was just something I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting to be over.
Yeah, gory. I figured there'd be a lot of gore, but it wouldn't be like close up, graphic. Like it looked. I'll just say it looked pretty realistic, and there was a lot of just oofers. Like you look at that and you're like, oh shit, in the eye, in the nose. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, is there anything else you can think of before we start to move into spoiler territory?
I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, so, I would say, before we get into the spoilers, that one little thing, I know we were both talking about it earlier, and we had to stop because we had to save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I was like, what? Like, slightly confused on.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
Actually... In that case, I do have one more thing.
Yes.
Which I will go more in depth once we do get to the spoilers.
Is it what I'm thinking?
But, maybe. Basically, my biggest complaint, which honestly could be seen as either a pro or con or a plus and minus. It depends on your perspective. I would say that for me personally, the movie didn't feel grounded in its reality. And I do know that, watching any film, you do kind of have to like let go of like reality. Yeah, you have to kind of let go a little bit because, no film is ever going to fully capture reality. However, I do think it's important, like, let's say Scream is taking place in a universe similar to ours. I am going to immediately assume that there are rules similar to our rules, right? So when the movie goes against those rules, it bothers me because, of course it's not realistic. However, it leaves me very confused. So I guess it kind of goes back to the whole over-the-topness. Mm-hmm. But the way you can see it in a more positive manner.
No, go on.
Okay, now I have to take a moment. Guys, so Rainy, as we mentioned, we have a bunch of like little fidget things. So y'all remember those faucet snakes or drain snakes? I forget what they're called. Those little
snake something. I think
those
water snakes.
Water snakes, yeah. Those things that you would cover the faucet with. And as kids, we used to play with them. Yeah. Rainy was fingering it.
When you said it like that.
You're growing pink.
Stop.
Just like the thing you're fingering.
Stop.
Yeah, I got you stopping, huh? Okay. But, going back to what I was talking about, at the end of the day, it is a Scream movie. And, the Scream franchise, it is not at all realistic. There's a lot of it. I would call it a goofy franchise. So, at the end of the day, I would say that, for a Scream movie, it does make sense that these things would happen. I'm not necessarily satisfied with it if I were to look at it as its own movie.
Right.
However, I do think it makes sense in the canon for stupid stuff to happen.
Yeah. Like, for me, I think it's just that I had a level of what type of movie it would be since it's a Scream movie. Mm-hmm. It's not the best of it, but it's actually pretty good than some previous ones. So I would say it was like, for me personally, it's like at least top 3.
Yes, I agree. So for my conclusion, I would say overall, I think it is a good Scream movie. I think it's a good, movie if you want the thrill of it. The suspense is pretty well built. The characters are likable and fun. I genuinely enjoyed, some of the character developments and relationships. I, honest to God, thought there was a lot of wholesome moments.
Yeah.
However, there were also a lot of stupid moments. And in this, I will now transition into spoiler territory.
Wait. One more thing. I think this should be important to say. This is the first Scream movie without the actress who plays Sydney.
Yeah, that's a really important point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't know, prior to Scream 6 dropping its trailer, the actress who played Sydney, let me put up her name. Let me find her name. The person who played Sydney Prescott, Neve Campbell. Mm-hmm. This is the first Scream movie that she is not part of. Mm-hmm. And before we go into more depth, before we talk about spoilers, we'll just say that this is just due to some things behind the scenes. I know it was already said, which was about payment or how much she was going to be paid for it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what she was owed. So I will say this one, knowing that when coming into the movie, I was just like, okay, I'm not going to enjoy that well because, basically, for my opinion, Sydney is the person who built this franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of like, she is the face of the franchise, so how can you have a Scream movie without the face of the franchise?
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job.
They did a pretty good job, but it was still pretty sad knowing that she was not going to make an appearance.
Yeah, because, so, as I said, I guess this isn't really considered a spoiler. In my opinion, I don't know if there is anything released on whether like this is the final movie or not. However, I do feel like this is the final movie because by the end, it feels very conclusive. And it is disappointing that Sydney isn't with us at the end of the ride.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, also, if we look at her in, like, in the movie perspective, she gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah. It's kind of... I think the choice in not having... Well, it's kind of out of their hands, but if we were to look at it just as a movie without all that dispute, I think the choice of her, like, just having concluded her own chapter was, you know, I think it suited the movie and, you know, the whole, like, reason of the movie, you know, the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But I wish we did get to see a little bit of Sydney. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to see what her conclusion looks like.
Yeah. Alrighty. Sorry,
right.
I just needed to get that off my chest.
No, yeah, that was pretty important, I think.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to spoiler territory. So if you don't want to be spoiled, and you know maybe you want to see the movie for yourself before hearing our opinions, please do not go past this part of the podcast. And if you do decide not to listen, I hope to see y'all in the next episode.
Yeah.
That was so unenthusiastic.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone who doesn't want the spoilers gone. Okay, we're going.
Yeah, get out, you bastards. We don't want you here.
Oh my god. Alright.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, be nice to them. Alright, so we're going to spoiler territory in 3, 2, 1. Sunny, would you like to lead us?
Yes, okay. So, I suppose we are going to explain the movie.
Yes.
So, we have the core 4 from the previous film.
I love that.
So, if y'all remember from the previous film, we have the main characters, Sam and Tara. So, I think Sam is more of like the actual protagonist.
Yes.
However, it did revolve around Sam, her little sister Tara, and her friend group. So, with this film, it still does revolve around the survivors. Mm-hmm. And, you know, at this point, Tara's off to college, blah, 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 blah. However, there are consequences from the previous film.
Yep.
Sam is perhaps one of the most people. She is probably one of the most hated people.
Yep, because so what happened is that there has been rumors going on online about how she actually is the killer, and she set up the previous killer, Richie, to being innocent. Like, Richie's the innocent person, and she put all the murder on him. And she's the one who did it.
Even though that makes no fucking sense. However, conspiracies, you know, they always happen. So, yeah, there is some strife between her and her own sister, Tara. Sam is going through it. We see her with a therapist. So Dr. Stone, which I thought was kind of interesting, made me think of the anime. But, I was like, like the anime. But, we see her, like, you know, she's obviously traumatized. She has trust issues. And finally, you know, the therapist is like, you've been here for 6 months. Like, you got to give me something to work with. So she's like, okay, fine. You want the details? I'll give you the details.
Yeah, and then that got the therapist, after telling all that, and especially telling one scene where she said that it felt right for what she did in the last movie. The therapist, you could just tell the therapist was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, he's like, you know, you are above, you know, you are way more like than I can handle. I'm not qualified for this. But honestly, he just seemed a bit freaked out. She's like, you're trying to report me? For what? I didn't even do anything. I'm not going to do anything. And he's like, I just don't think I'm qualified. And she's like, fine, fuck you. You're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And to be fair, she did say, yeah, I stabbed him 22 times. And he's just like, oh, shit.
And then slit his throat and then shot him in the head.
I honestly thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happens. We see Tara. Oh, I skipped over the complete beginning.
You did! You always do this!
So I do. So the beginning is actually quite interesting. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting way to start the movie.
It was.
I
called it.
did. I thought it was a good subversion on how they started. So essentially, we start off with this chick in a restaurant bar. She is some sort of college professor. She does film studies, specifically over slasher films. And basically, she's supposed to be meeting somebody for a date. They're late. They end up luring her to an alleyway nearby to be like, hey, can you, see me? Am I going the right way? And I use the word luring because she gets killed pretty soon after.
Oh, yeah. And that was the first killing. Oh, my God. I think that was the first... Well, that was within the first 5 minutes?
That was within the first 5 minutes, which is, pretty typical of a Scream movie.
Yeah. But, this person, you could tell the fact that this person was going way overboard. You can tell that this was actually a personal vendetta. Nothing like what Ghostface would do.
Yes. And,
Sonny. You see?
Oops. Hey, make sure to edit that out.
No, I'm going to keep it in.
Fuck. Anyways, I was going to mention something I really enjoyed about the first 5 minutes is the actress playing the professor. I forget her name. I think her name in the movie is Lauren something. Mm-hmm. But I thought she had quite the scream. When she was being repeatedly stabbed, her screams were guttural. I thought I think she did a pretty good job, with the acting in that.
I think, not gonna lie, I was I think I can kind of still hear it. And I'm like, oh, wow, that is traumatizing.
Yeah, no kidding. It was so scary. The way she just fucking screamed like that. Yeah, no, kudos to her. That was some phenomenal screaming. So what was interesting about this beginning, however, is not, that. It's the fact that this Ghostface, he takes his mask off.
Yeah. Which has never happened for any Ghostface within all the franchises. The thing is, this Ghostface took the mask off within the first 10 minutes. Yeah. That has never happened in any other Scream movie.
Yeah, so we immediately start the movie with oh, this is Ghostface. So, are we going to, we know who he is. So what the hell is going to happen for the rest of the movie? Are we going to, follow his I genuinely thought we were going to follow his perspective. Which would have been interesting.
Yeah, actually for me, when he got into the apartment, I just kept watching. I was like, no, he's not going to survive. Because they would not reveal Ghostface this early, literally the beginning of the movie, and have him survive at the end. I was just like, no.
Yeah. So, we actually, so as Rainey said, he does go back, to the apartment afterwards. After he kills her, he, takes his stuff, puts it in his backpack. Yeah, I don't think he leaves anything, right?
He doesn't leave anything.
Yeah, he doesn't leave anything.
On his way back, he does bump into Tara.
Yeah, so apparently Halloween is pretty soon. That's kind of the setting. So it's a few days before Halloween. People are dressed up in costumes for some reason. Weird. I guess Halloween week.
Yeah.
But and I think he's kind of walking through more of a campus area. It's kind of a college area. Mm-hmm. As we mentioned, Tara is in college at this point. He bumps into her, and already we get a note of other than the fact that he just fucking fucking killed somebody, we get something weird. When he asks about Sam, he seems like he really wants to get close to her, right? So this will of course tie in with the whole conspiracies later on, but so he gets to his apartment. He puts his mask on a head statue, right? Mm-hmm. Something you put wigs on or whatever. And he has a bunch of memorabilia.
Memorabilia in the apartment, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just oh, and it's just okay, so he's trying to be a copycat. Mm-hmm. And in my head, I'm just he's not gonna survive. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna survive. But anyway, we still follow him, and then his phone rings. And it's his partner in crime. This person is also participating in the Ghostface thing.
Yeah, so they are a duo partner, and oh yeah, I thought this was so disturbing. The way the guy what's his name? I don't have it written down. But he just, after he killed, he just acted completely normal, chatted with Tara, smiling, you know. He acted so normal. And so once he was, like, talking to his, like, you know, after the phone rings, his roommate, the fact that he was like, yeah, I got a case of blue balls, and I just had to go do it, that was disturbing.
Yep. I was just like, ugh.
And the way he, basically, the roommate over the phone asks, so how was it? Describe it to me. And he starts to describe, you know, yeah, you know, at first, you know, she's like, you know, a person, she's there. And then, but once I started stabbing her and she's screaming, she just felt like an animal. And once she was dead, she just felt like meat.
I won't lie, that got me chills. That's like a
Yeah.
really good, that is good dialogue for a psychopath, really.
Yeah, no. And it's like, it's absolutely psychopathic, like, behavior. Like, the fact he even called it, like, blue balls. It just, he's murdered before. And apparently, they're basically serial killers, I'm assuming, at that point.
I think they're trying to be serial killers.
Yeah. But, however, they do talk about finishing Richie's movie, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I believe we're supposed to remember who Richie is. Richie is from the previous film.
Yep.
Sam's boyfriend, who ended up literally backstabbing her.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Because he just wanted a better stab movie.
Yeah, literally. So that seems to be the motive of these guys. But anyways, you may take it from here.
Okay, so, yeah, while he's talking with Ghostface, while he's talking, his friend who is trying to pretend to be Ghostface.
Yes, he's using the voice
modulator.
yeah. And he's like, man, come on, you said you wouldn't do that on the phone.
Yeah, so he's talking with it, and he's like just saying, you know, and and his roommate is saying, how about we play a game? Hot or cold? And the guy's just like, okay, fine. And first off, the apartment has cameras. Mm-hmm. So his roommate can still see him.
Yeah.
And he's just saying, okay, let's just play hot and cold. You find me, and we'll just talk. And so the scene continues as we're following that guy throughout the apartment. Him saying, you're cold, you're getting warm, and then. Yes.
He asks him, I think he's supposed to be like, are you actually my roommate?
Yes, he does ask at one point. He's like, are you actually my roommate? And, well,
no, it's because the roommate was like, how long have we known each other for? And the guy is like, well, you tell me, because he's suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gives information about how they've been together, how they've been friends since junior.
Yeah, junior high. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I was like, if you had to answer, because there was a slight pause. Mm-hmm. I was like, if you have to pause, that is not the person you think you're talking to.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it could be like, I initially thought it was the roommate, and it was like, he was kind of paused as in like, bro, seriously? You're asking me that?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, this will be, important later on. But, yeah, it's...
Sorry, I'm playing with one of the loud fidget toys. I'll play with the softer ones.
Yeah, eventually he gets hot, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, so he gets into the kitchen, and he says, oh, you're warm. He steps out, he says, you're cold. Steps back in, you're warm. And starts heading to the refrigerator. Says, you're boiling. Opens the door. There's a body in there. You know whose body that is? His actual roommate.
Yeah.
Which means whoever he was talking on the phone was a real Ghostface.
Yeah.
And Ghostface attacks him from behind, and he starts trying to plead to this person, saying, we're just trying to finish Richie's movie. And I think...
the guy, he was just kind of saying, you know, that's exactly the point. Or something like that. Or... because he did say early on, he was like, you didn't just kill, like, she wasn't just meat. She was a person. You killed a human person. And for what? Just because she gave you a bad grade? Or no, because she was, like, our, like, film professor, because they're film students.
Yeah.
And it's revealed that the guy, he was like, yeah, she gave me a C- on like a grade, and it was like, bro, seriously?
Yeah. Like, you can be mad at a professor for giving you a bad grade for something you worked really hard on. But to murder them, that's a bit far, but...
A little bit far.
Yeah.
No, but it's just fucking such douchebag behavior, like psychopathic. But, yeah, so... Yeah, he gets killed.
And it was weird because it was like, I was thinking, wait, why does this Ghostface have a little bit of morals? Just a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was just like, oh. And so Ghostface kills this person, and that's when we pick up with Sam and the therapist. Now we can go back to the spot we were meant to be in.
Yes. I will say, though, this does bring up a point that I did want to talk about. One of my issues that I just kept wondering throughout the movie is, how the fuck did Ghostface he kept breaking into all these places? How did he do it?
Well, the only thing I can say is...
No, but, like, the fact that he got into Gail's, like, house, like, how? He got into their house? How?
I always just assume lockpicking.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it's kind of fucking, like, noticeable. And the fact that, like, there's a scene where, Sam and Tara and, let's see, Chad and Mindy, I don't know if there was anybody else with them. Chad and Mindy are the siblings who are the niece and nephew of, what's his face?
Of the guy, one of Sydney's friends who...
Yeah, the trope guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was also, like, really into slasher films. Apologies to fans. I just can't remember names.
Yeah.
But, they're the niece and nephew. And, yeah, like, all the knives from the kitchen was gone. Like, that shit is kind of noticeable. And it could have been, like, you know, done in the background. However, I felt like, I don't know. It's like, I would assume Gail, having gone through stuff, would also have some security. And it's just like, how the fuck does Ghostface keep getting in there?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking up for this. Nope. Okay. Let's keep going. But yeah, so that's probably a thing you are like just being like, oh my god.
Yeah. Maybe nitpicky, but still. It's just like, I mean, I guess...
Randy,
yeah, his name is Randy. I mean, I guess we don't really have to, like, describe the entire film, but, I mean, do we want to go ahead and give away, like, the conclusion, like, the twist?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so, you know, throughout the movies, like, the movie, they're trying to figure out who the killer is, right? They're like, you know, we can't trust anybody, it could be any of us, like, you know, this is no longer a sequel or a prequel or whatever else they said.
It's a franchise.
And so, you know, it's like anybody can die, including the main character.
And legacy characters.
Mm-hmm. And so, the whole twist is, okay, so I guess we do need to describe it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have our main core 4 characters, and with Tara and Sam, they live in an apartment complex, and they have a roommate named Quinn.
Quinn, yep.
And I originally really liked her character, not gonna lie.
We're gonna put a pin on her.
Yeah. So they live with Quinn. They have a new friend in their friend group. His name is Ethan. He's kind of the nerdy type.
We're gonna put another pin on him.
And Quinn, her father is a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, you know, like her brother had died in a car accident, and her father got very protective of her. So when she moved to New York to go to like college, he ended up moving with her to be close, right? That's the story she gives.
We're gonna put a pin on all 3 of them.
Well, I don't know about a pin, because I'm about to fucking, like, say it.
Okay, we're about to yank those pins away. Okay, go ahead.
Do you think it's fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
But at the end, it's revealed that there isn't just one killer.
There isn't 2.
And, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, there isn't 2. There's 3. I was going to say, well, there isn't 3. Wait a minute. That would be that would be a twist.
Yeah.
Have fucking, like, 10 ghost faces.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, yeah, it's exactly like Rainey said. There are 3 killers. And
all of them are family. So the cop is the dad, Quinn is the daughter, and Ethan is the son.
And at the end, when Sam was like, wait a minute.
You said your brother died in a car accident. And they're all being like, oh my God, you still don't get it. It's revealed that this is Richie's family.
Yeah.
And that,
which is very reminiscent of, was it the third one?
It was...
The third one, the director.
Yes.
Who what turned out to be Sydney's, half-brother. Yeah.
And oh my God. First off...
and reminiscent of the second one with the mom.
Yep, with Billy Loomis's mom. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the fourth one with...
Oh, the cousin?
With the cousin, Sydney's cousin. Yeah. So if you guys haven't noticed by now...
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Okay, I think we're good.
Probably going to keep that in. But if you guys don't know, Scream has had a bit of a history of family being intertwined with the Ghostface killings.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. So it's like, and they even pointed out some of them, like, for example, for Billy's mom, who has become estranged and basically got out of his life.
Yeah.
It's like, they pointed out, it's like, but you weren't even in his life when this happened.
Did they actually point that out in the movie?
They did, yeah.
What was her excuse?
Didn't.
Well, yeah. Because that was my biggest complaint, was like, what was her fucking motive? That's the thing that I don't really care for in this movie. They do explain their motive. Obviously, the motive is, you killed our brother / son, Richie, and you killed him, and it's revealed that the whole conspiracies of Sam having been the true killer all this time. Quinn, the roommate, she was the one who did that. Mm-hmm. The brother Ethan, he was the one who befriended Chad and became his roommate. And so that he would be constantly close to them and, basically become part of the core group to keep an eye on them. And that's how, the killer was able to keep, finding them at all times. Mm-hmm. So that, I will say, it was pretty interesting. Yep. The way the killer would, I'll be like, holy shit, how does the killer keep, finding them? This is so creepy. I will say, that was pretty fun. But I just didn't like the motive.
Yeah.
Because, the entire family, the entire family unit, I don't know, it just seemed so bonkers to me that they were like, yeah, our brother, who's a fucking psychopath, murderer, serial killer person who killed a bunch of people, yeah, you killed him. We loved him so much, so now we're gonna do the same to you for punishment. I don't know. I just don't care for it.
Yeah. It was just it was like jumping the shark. I think this is the Scream's jump the shark moment.
Yeah. And it's to be fair, it's not too extreme, for a Scream movie. I mean, as you mentioned, family is a huge element of the movie, and that has consistently happened in at least every other movie, if not all.
I would say at this point, it's 2/3 of the movies that are just family plot twists, and it's just okay.
Yeah, definitely. And it's you're telling me the dad who is a cop, and both of his other children willingly work together to orchestrate this entire murder plot. And not only that, in the beginning it was oh yeah, we have a bit of a morality thing, oh, you don't you killed an innocent person, or you killed a person who had a life, right? But then there's the whole scene of the grocery store where I don't know which sibling or whether it was the dad, but Ghostface. And I will say, I actually did think this was a pretty cool scene. So basically, they encounter Ghostface in an alleyway. The girls, Tara and Sam, they run inside a grocery store and to be call 911, blah blah blah. No, yeah, Ghostface enters, and he straight up starts fucking stabbing everybody.
He stabbed 2 people.
He stabbed 2 people.
Before the shop owner... Sorry, I have a clicky pen. Before the shop owner was just, like, pulls out a shotgun and tries to defend the girls. And I will say, this is the first time where, pretty much, I'm just going to call them NPCs. An NPC in the Scream franchise is very proactive. Like, he literally told Sam and Tara, go through the back door, quickly.
Yeah.
And, like, the door was locked, and he's trying to get the keys for them. But, of course, he got killed. Mm-hmm. Which I'm just like, okay, I'll give them props for at least having them be more proactive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're more proactive, but, like, my God, some people just don't have, like, situational awareness. Case in example, so towards the end, they devised a plan to where, you know what, we're going to trap the killer into going to a secluded place and trying to trap him in there, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're going to, like, execute him. Which I'm just like, holy shit, why don't y'all have the authority to, like, fucking do this shit? But, anyways, that's not the point. It's a Scream movie. Mm-hmm. But they were in the subway.
Yeah. And
what did you think about that scene? Like, all of it for the subway scene. I mean.
So, from the beginning, I can say it is very... I did not feel comfortable with that subway scene just because it reminds me of something that happened last year in another country. If you guys don't know, this just reminded me of what happened in South Korea around Halloween time, where there was a subway entry out to the main street, and it was just overpacked. That gave me it's not the same, but it did give me that bad vibes of, like, just too crowded.
Claustrophobia.
Yeah. But overall, it was like, okay, the moment they separate, I'm just like, oh shit, someone is going to get stabbed.
Yeah. I think the subway scene did a spectacular job on building suspense.
Oh yeah, it did. It really did. And it's like, and not gonna lie, the lighting of the fact that every now and then the lights will go off because it's supposed to be like a Halloween feel. Mm-hmm. That one was like, oh, it was raising my anxiety. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, because all the what you call NPCs, like, they were in costumes, so, like, yeah.
And there was even some people dressed up as Ghostface, so they were like, okay, is this person actually Ghostface, or is this person just a civilian dressing up as Ghostface? Which, by the way, that's kind of fucking sick.
It is sick. Like, the Ghostface costume in the in canon did start out as, like, you know, just a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
However, the fact that, you know, it is tied with an infamous, you know, serial killer at that point, you would think they would have, like, banned it or something. Like at one point in the movie, there was, like, a news report after, you know, it's just, like, it's already in the news that there are, like, Ghostface killings. And in the report, the news reporter, she was like, all right, guys, you know, the sales on the Ghostface costume is at an all-time high. I got my costume. Did you get yours?
Which, by the way, okay, so I'm just going to pause because I am a mass communication major, which means I could be in the news if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But I will say that would have never gone through, especially considering that if the victims are still alive and they watch this, they could get sued. The studio could get sued. Yeah. Which I was just so mad because I was like, that is the stupidest thing any reporter could do. Make light of something that has so much tragedy on it.
Yeah.
That I literally would just been like, you are a fucking asshole if you think that this was funny.
Yeah, and once again, like, typically things are scripted, right?
Yes.
So it's just fucking bonkers. And like you said, like, this is one of the examples where, like, it's completely unfounded in reality. Like, It makes no sense. And, like, another issue I had that is kind of connected to that is just the behavior of, like society. Like, the fact that Sam is the most hated person in New York, and yet it's like, this was an incident that took place in a completely different state. And yeah, like, you know, it could be, like, national, like, wide news. People have, like, heard about it and stuff. However, it's like, how likely is that you're going to be, like, if you're a victim, you're walking around the streets, like, how likely is it that everybody's going to know you, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even that particularly bothered me. It's the fact that in the beginning, everybody seemed to know Sam. A woman, like, threw, like, her drink at Sam. And then Sam pushed her away, and the woman recorded it, and that's how it got into the news, right? But then later, in the subway scene, Sam is completely unbothered by everybody. Even though it's established, like everybody in the campus apparently knew Sam.
Yeah, like, now that you talk about, yeah, that was weird, because they were all, like, almost huddled, like, because the subway was packed, but you would have thought that if the moment you see someone who was accused of murder on the subway, you would be trying to get out of the subway as quick as possible.
The fact that she's a prime suspect, and not even just a prime suspect, it's just the fact that everybody, like, oh, yeah, you're the bitch who, like, killed that one dude, or you're, like, oh, the victim, or whatever, like, whatever it is. Basically, it's the fact that she was being harassed.
Yeah.
Like, it's implied that she's being harassed a lot. And the fact that she didn't even get recognized, like, on the subway, despite being, like, surrounded by, like, a bunch of people. Like, also, once again, it's like they didn't even try to disguise themselves. The fact they just roamed around freely, that's something that confused me.
Yeah.
It's the fact that she's a prime suspect, apparently. And they don't even have extra security or anything. They're just roaming freely. There was a point where, early on, before the subway scene, the Core 4, along with one of their new friends, Ethan, they were in the college campus, sitting out in public, discussing...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is so stupid, because anybody could hear you, and if you're worried about Ghostface being around at any point, and you don't trust anybody, you don't want to do that in a public space. Because what if Ghostface, like, you say something important, or a plan, what if Ghostface is right there? I mean, it turned out he was. But what if he's, like, somewhere nearby in public? Like, it's kind of stupid. Like, there's a bunch of moments in this movie where characters are making stupid decisions. And I know it's, like, almost like a trope at this point.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think it makes no sense.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, I want to trade. Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, looking at that now is like, yeah, why did you set this up but didn't continue with it? It's like, what, that thing with the gun on the wall, like you show that there's a gun on the wall, and by the second act you have to fire it.
Yeah.
It feels like they were setting it up, but then they just forgot about it. So I think I was just like, oh, okay. That was like, well, there was no point of setting this up.
Yeah, and I guess it does kind of like transition into like Sam internalizing everything and being like, well, the fact that this is happening, and like at that point I think they understood the motive was to like punish Sam.
Yeah. Because
of the conspiracies. So they knew it was connected to that. And so Sam, you know, she's like, this is my fault. Like Tara, like the fact she's like, you know, Tara was asking at one point, because they've gone through a lot of shit at this point. People have been stabbed, like, a lot. That'll be my next point to complain about.
Yes. The gore. Oh, my God.
Not just the gore. It's just the fact that somebody would be stabbed, like, 20 times, and they'll just walk it off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, everybody's a porcupine. Like, they're all being stabbed.
Save that for the next comment.
Yes.
Okay.
But... yes, so when Sam was like, yeah, this is all my fault, like, I need to, like, just give myself in and, like, let them punish me, and everybody's like, no, what the fuck, Sam? Like, we're a family, like, you can't do this all by yourself, right? I guess that's where it kind of, like, led into, I guess, the whole, like, she's the most hated person, and it just led to her being like, yeah, I am the one they're trying to punish.
Yep.
But I still agree with you, it didn't really, like, the beginning part didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah. And I will say, they didn't make the love interest the villain, which I appreciate, because I was already getting frustrated that, like, almost, if not, I think almost half of the movies, the love interest has always just been the killer, and I'm just like, okay, at this point, let's not have a love interest.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that since they did have the love interest, but they didn't make him the villain.
They didn't make him the villain. They actually made him into a really cool character. Like,
yeah.
He was very... like, yes, we don't get that much personality and much, like, story behind him or anything. However, he ends up being a very supportive character towards Sam. And he even tells her, don't trust anybody, including me.
Which,
like, yeah.
I was, like, thinking, oh, wait. That's either a red herring or that's actually true.
Yeah.
But
so,
I'm so glad it was a red herring.
Me too. Like, honestly... Because it does, like, come back later when Sam, like, you know, he's trying to go with them. They were going to do the subway. Did he go? No.
He goes with them in the subway.
He goes with them in the subway, but...
The moment when they're about to set up the trap is when Sam tells him, don't come with me. I can't trust you. You know, you told me that. And he was like, of course. And, like... And I was just like, either this is going to hurt this is going to hurt a lot, or this is going to go completely the opposite direction.
Yes. And I will say, I'm really glad it didn't go in the direction of him, like, coming in last minute to do some self-sacrificing and then dying.
Yes. I am also tired of that, because that needs to stop.
Yeah. So, while it does follow a lot of tropes, I do feel like there is a decent amount of subversion of tropes that does make it more interesting.
Yeah, which Scream has always been good at.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been good at subverting always making us think we know what's going to happen, and then at the last minute, changing it.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, even though I don't like the twist, I will say, it is most certainly a twist.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had us. Like, yeah. Let me think.
Anything
There
else?
was something very specific that I wanted to talk about.
I know, it's like you made this comment earlier.
Did I? What was it?
It was about someone being the new Dewey.
Oh, lol. That's not what I was thinking of. Oh, okay. That actually does kind of tie in with what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. So, what I like about the Scream franchise is that I honestly think all the movies, they're pretty goofy in their own way. Especially just going past, like, the first two movies. I think there are plenty of goofy moments where, you know, it's over-the-top acting. Like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Not for everybody. But, honestly, one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is, yeah, there were moments of goofiness that felt very natural. There was some funny, like, character dialogue. Just very sweet, wholesome moments between characters.
Yeah. Like, you can tell, like, they're a family of people. They're like a family.
Yeah.
They're people who've gone through some shit and are just like, hey, we've gone through some shit. Let's support each other.
Yeah. And like yeah. And there was, not gonna lie, I cried a decent amount throughout this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first time I started crying, or when I got really emotional, was when Ghostface had broken into the apartment of Sam and Tara, and the other two are there, and including Anika.
Who is Mindy's girlfriend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what got me crying was the fact that I knew that Anika was gonna die.
Yeah. Which I'm just like, oh, why that love interest?
Because they're gay. A love interest had to die.
I know.
No, but that was really sad, though.
No, and I could feel Mindy's heartbreak.
Mm-hmm. And, like, Anika's, too, because she was screaming, like, I don't want to die. But she knew that she couldn't make it.
Yeah, because like, she was halfway, and just so you guys have context, she was stabbed right where her intestines were.
Yeah, like, not even stabbed, like, sliced open.
She was sliced open, yeah. And she was, like, in severe pain.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you could tell, like, she wanted to make sure Mindy was safe first. And when she was trying to get escape, you can tell that you could just hear it in her voice that she was in so much pain, and that she knew that she might not survive. And it was just, in the moment she fell from her escape route, it just was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't have, like, the close-up of, like, you know,
of her face.
I felt like that was kind of bad taste, not gonna lie. I feel like they could have, like, not have done it, and not, like, leave it ambiguous, but just don't have that close-up. Like, I feel like it's almost disrespectful, but, I mean, I get it. It's a, you know, it's basically, it's a slasher.
Yeah, my heart just crushed when that happened. I'm just like
it was just very tragic. And this will actually go into one of my biggest complaints. I feel like there aren't consequences.
Yeah.
And by that I mean Mindy had gone through a great tragedy of, like, losing somebody that was very close to her girlfriend, her lover. And I don't really feel like you get that heartbreak for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Like, it's just, like, I felt like it probably would have been, like, while in the subway when she was getting stabbed by one of the ghost face, which I'm assuming which of course it was most likely Quinn. Mm-hmm. It would have been more satisfying that she was trying to fight Ghostface, like trying to get revenge for what happened to her girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That probably would have been more satisfying because, like, because like her mouth was covered and she didn't look like she was trying to push Ghostface away.
Well, I mean, she was already stabbed at that point.
She was already stabbed.
Pretty, like, difficult. Well, I mean, for me, it's, like, less of that and more of just the fact that she continues to joke around. And, like, I mean, you know, people cope differently and all that stuff. However, it doesn't feel like her girlfriend just died. And to be fair, it's, you know, fast-paced. Like, in movie, this is, like, the span of, like, a day or two, maybe even hours.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like you don't get that impact from some of the characters. They just kind of move on to the next plot, and it's like with Tara, you kind of get that because she starts crying about Chad, but then he ends up being like fine.
Yeah.
Despite him being the new Dewey.
Okay, guys, first off, when Sunny made that comment after we left, I just groaned in pain because my God, you had to bring up Dewey.
We do miss Dewey. But no, it's the fact that Chad, he fucking nearly died in the last movie. He nearly died this movie. He got stabbed a bunch.
Wait a minute. So did Mindy.
Yeah.
Mindy got stabbed.
Yeah, she definitely got stabbed. Yeah, she got stabbed a lot. She got stabbed in the arm. She got stabbed in the stomach. And then later, you see her, like, you know, running towards everybody in the ambulance at the end. And it's like, well, girl, what are you doing out of the hospital? You got stabbed in the stomach. Like, it's the fact that these characters just kind of walk off their stabs. Like, this... Like, what's the movie that's in universe? Is it Stab?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this movie should be called Stab. Because all these characters get stabbed, like, 20 times each. And they're perfectly fine. Like, fucking... Kirby fucking got slashed in the throat, too.
Yeah. It's the, what's it called? Oh, yeah. Main character plot armor.
Yeah, no kidding.
I
mean, I'm glad that they survived, but, like...
Just,
Once again, I just feel like it's very unrealistic, and it kind of takes me out of the movie a little bit.
Well, actually, because I'm not trying to make light of this, but there was someone who did get stabbed multiple times and survived in real life.
I mean, yeah, no, that can definitely happen, but once again, it's more of, like, the attitude and,
Oh, you mean the reaction to after being stabbed?
Yeah, because, like, let's say, I mean, example, Tara was stabbed in the stomach towards the end, and after they finally, defeated the ghost face killers, they just kind of, the sisters just kind of sat on, the little stairs of the theater, and they just started, like, talking, and I'm just like, Tara, you're stabbed in the stomach. How are you not just continuously bleeding out? You need to go to the hospital. Second of all, Kirby is, like, nearby, presumably dead. It's revealed that she isn't. However, she was stabbed multiple times. Got a gunshot.
Yeah, got gunned, like, 3 times.
Slit in the throat. And, like, you guys said that we would get help for her. Also, where the hell are y'all's cell phones?
That is a good point.
How did the police keep getting to these locations? Gail's makes sense because her boyfriend called the police, but, like, what is happening?
I don't know. I think I want to... Oh, no, because towards the end, Sam's boyfriend actually did call the police.
He did. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you take that back?
Yeah, I take that back. Danny is cool. Yeah, I take that back. But still, I guess that isn't... I guess there isn't too many plot holes with that, but it's more of just the, like... What the hell? You can't survive that, or you can survive that, but why are you just sitting there? Like, Tara looked perfectly fine. Tired. But, like...
Yeah, I would say probably, and I'm just probably just, and this is stretching it too, adrenaline can do that.
Definitely.
Adrenaline can make you overcome pain. So that's probably why they were, like, able to, after all of this happened, they're able to sit down because now their adrenaline started to cool down and it was able to overcome the pain. I'm assuming after the whole thing, they were feeling the pain they were in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
Yes.
something that felt very satisfying was the fact that Sam was like allowed to go feral and like acting as her own personal ghost face.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really liked that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like, because that's what they wanted, in a sense. They wanted her to be the new Ghostface. And I don't think they were prepared for that.
Yeah, because she's like fucking feral. Like, she stabbed him a bunch. And like, I think it's funny that they're both like, Sam was like, I don't want to be like my father, not a murderer. And then Tara just kind of gives her a look. And then Sam was like, okay, never mind. Lol, stab to the head.
I think her line was, but you messed with the wrong family.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And it was just like, yeah, I mean, he kind of deserved that, but oh my god, the eyeball.
Yeah, it's pretty, devastating. It's just the fact that, like, pretty ruthless. Also, my question is, like, what happens to the sisters? Like, what about the consequences of them, like, yeah, they killed in self-defense, but, like, what about the authority? Anyway, I'm not going to continue on with that because we were kind of getting close to time, but, basically,
Yeah.
you know, very unrealistic, but I do think it was a good story, and I do think there are really good characters.
Yeah. And like at that, like you said before, the ending, it did feel like this was a wrap up.
Yes.
Now, is it going to be a complete wrap up?
Well, we don't know, do
We
we?
don't know, because slashers in the past have always had the whole, oh, you think this is over? This isn't over. We're having more. And then they pump out 1 million.
Case in point, Halloween.
And Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'll say is that, do I think this is going to be the last ever Scream? No, I think they're going to try to milk it out a little bit more until they're like, okay, yeah, I think it's time. But if this is the last Scream movie, it did leave off on a good note because, of course, now all the characters are going to be like, okay, we're going to try to not do this anymore. Like, we're going to try to live our lives. Move on.
Well, that's what I think the entire movie is about. It's literally about moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
Like, from the sister being like, you know, you need to let go of me. And like, you know, basically it's about being able to move on without necessarily like forgetting, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they did that really well. Like, it's a theme about, you know, through the sisters' relationship and through Sam and her relationship with her own trauma.
Yeah.
And her father. Like, she looks longingly at the first ghost face mask in her hands. And she looks at it for a while, and her sister calls out her name, and she's like, "You ready to go?" And Sam lets go. She lets go of the mask, and the mask falls to the ground. And I think that's very symbolic of, like, you know, I think it has reached its conclusion. And unfortunately, I think you might be right in that they might try to make more because they want money. But, like, I really hope they won't. I really do.
Like, I feel like this would be a good ending.
Yeah, and it's not often that you actually get a good, conclusive ending. Like, to where things feel, you know, relatively wrapped up. But it's also like, you know, it feels like the characters themselves are done. They're ready to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they make another movie, it's like, where do you go on from that point? They reached their character development and arc. Like, you can't do more than that.
And, like, if people can be like, oh, they can bring new characters in. Okay, yes, but at some point, they're going to be bringing in older characters.
Yes.
That have already experienced this. Like, they've done in the last movie with Sydney and Gale. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, where are you going to go from this? At this point, this is a good send-off. Saying, like, okay, we are done with the franchise, and we want to thank you all for coming with us.
Yeah, you gotta be respectful to the franchise, even if it wasn't always good.
Yeah.
I think it's just good to end there, and I'd be happy with that. And I really hope there will be more original content coming out soon in, like, the slasher genre. And I know there has been a few recently.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to check those out, but yeah.
And also check out that Scream TV show. We've been meaning to go watch that, and I haven't had the time to go help look for it.
Dude, I completely forgot it existed. So that's definitely going to be on our agenda list as well.
Yep, that's on our to-do list.
So I guess Scream is always going to be with us in some way, huh?
Yep. I'm going to go get a Scream mask, have it as a background for one of my TikToks.
Oh, jeez.
For like a shot.
As long as you don't do anything else with it.
Oh, no. It's going to be mounted on my wall and just stay there permanently. But anyway, yeah. I guess that's I think we're at a good stopping point.
Yeah, so, yeah, honestly, I would... Oh.
Yes.
Whether I would recommend it, I would say... Yeah, why not? It's a good thrill. It's fun. I think it's a good conclusive ending. It's just a good... last movie. And Rainey, your thoughts?
I'd say I would recommend it. Like, I think new fans and older fans will appreciate it. Of course, if you can overlook some of the slight hiccups, like they're hiccups at best. Mm-hmm. You can. It's a really good movie. I would recommend it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, honestly, yeah, I enjoyed myself today watching that movie. It was fun.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, I suppose that concludes our episode, right?
Yep.
So, thank you so much for joining us today, for those who have stayed.
Yep.
For those who didn't, rotten bastards, you're the rotten. You aren't real fans. I don't know, whatever.
That's alright. So, sorry for spoilers, if you didn't want spoilers.
Well,
even though we warned you.
Yeah, that's your own fault, you stupid.
Tontos.
Oh. Baka. Idiot.
Yeah, and
Durak.
you're just gonna keep saying idiot in different languages because I want to see how far you're gonna go.
That's as far as I can go.
Okay, well, we are gonna just start cleaning up our little fidget mess.
We have a lot of fidget toys. So, guys,
gals, and non-binary pals. Sorry, I had to.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I shall leave y'all with a good night.
I shall leave you with a good morning.
A good afternoon.
A good evening.
And I'll leave you with this.
Sunny! Sunny!
I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Get out of this closet.
Oh, this is where I like to do it, though.
You know how frustrating that would be.
I'm sorry. It's really sexy.
Oh, you just...
Bye, guys.
Bye.